Good afternoon, Western Washington, and happy Friday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days and take a look back at this snow and wind event that happened over the last day here. So starting with the satellite imagery, you can see our system is pushing out of the area. You can see those high clouds pushing off into eastern Washington. We have some lingering clouds across western Washington. Some areas up near Whatcom County and Vancouver, BC, there are mostly sunny, but the rest of the region is mostly cloudy right now, although you can see some clearer skies off the coast there. So taking a look out yesterday, you can see that this, once it loads up here, this was the peak gap wind gusts yesterday. And we actually got some pretty strong winds here. You can see this station in North Bend hit 56 miles per hour, 53 miles an hour at the I-90 Highway 18 interchange. A ridge above Snoqualmie Pass hit 67 miles per hour. And then down in Enumclaw, you had gusts up to 50 miles per hour and then 44 miles per hour there near Black Diamond. So this was a pretty strong gap wind event, of course, relegated mainly to the areas that typically get these winds. Because if you remember, our bomb cyclone back in November, these types of winds were out here over SeaTac and Federal Way in Kent and Renton. So obviously this event was so much more limited, but still interesting to see that despite these gap winds, a lot of areas were able to get snow. And reference that here is this is a photo from my house this morning. I got about a half inch of snow total. It's really fluffy snow. And this is kind of what we saw across a lot of the area. And what was amazing is that the dew point at my house was 9 degrees on Thursday morning. But by Thursday afternoon, we had moderated the atmosphere enough. We had saturated the column of the atmosphere from a dew point of 9 degrees up to a dew point of 30 degrees, and it was able to snow. So it was just pretty crazy to see the weather in action yesterday. And talking about snow amounts here, this is the snow amounts from the 13th to the 14th, so Thursday to Friday, and you can see a lot of areas here around Olympia and Tacoma, and then up north of Seattle there got basically from a trace of snow to about a half inch. A couple places got a little bit more than an inch. You can see as you go up toward Bellingham and the San Juans there, Victoria, BC, 0 inches there. However, the real interesting stuff happened to our south here, south of the metro area here toward Chehalis and Kelso, and then the Portland Metro. You can see Chehalis and Kelso about 2 inches of snow. But let's zoom in here on the Portland Metro. You can see Vancouver, Washington there got about 2.5 to 3.5 inches. And you can see the Portland Metro also got 3 to 4 inches there. So there was also a little bit of freezing rain in some of the Portland Metro as well. So there was definitely some big problems on the roads there. There was a 100-car pileup out near the Multnomah Falls parking area there on I-84. So the Portland area definitely did win with the snow totals there, with near 4 inches in some spots. So now looking ahead here, you can see our system pushing out of the area today on the European model, some lingering showers in the mountains. As we go into early Saturday morning there, rain starts to move onto the coast, snow in the Olympic Mountains. As we go through Saturday afternoon, there's about 1 p.m. that rain is starting to move into western Washington with snow in the Cascades. Light rain continues through Saturday, and then as we go into Sunday morning, you can see that rain increases, snow gets heavier in the mountains in Sunday morning there. Heavy rain at times in the lowlands through the day Sunday, turning a bit more showery with more rain pushing into the area on Monday there, before we start to get just showery as that rain ends by Monday evening. We'll have some showers lingering across the area through Tuesday. And then by Tuesday evening there we get a break in the rain across western Washington, but our next system is hot on the heels of that last one, moving into the coast there late Tuesday night. You can see as we go into Wednesday morning, this system's probably going to pack a punch with rain and snow. Not necessarily a big wind maker, but we're likely going to have some heavy rain, heavy mountain snow Wednesday morning there as this system moves through. You can see that heavy mountain snow, and this is going to probably, with cold air still in place, these couple systems are going to be bringing snow to parts of eastern Washington. You can see as we go through Wednesday night, as that precipitation starts to turn more showery across western Washington, you got heavy snow at times across parts of eastern Washington. So we will be watching that. You can also see potential for freezing rain in the Cascades there as we go into Wednesday evening, so also something we'll be watching very closely. And then as we go into Thursday, you can see we'll have some showers for the northern part of western Washington there. And then there's maybe some atmospheric river activity going on here toward the end of the week. And that could start to push south into western Washington, with the latest European model showing a pretty significant atmospheric river here next Saturday. So obviously we've got a while to go, but you can see in this scenario, you have the really heavy rain on the Olympic the southern Olympic Peninsula there, and then you have the mountain snow that's really non-existent because of that atmospheric river. So the European model's been, the European model's been showing this atmospheric river setup for a while, so we'll see if the last couple runs it's been showing this. We'll see if that continues over the next few days here. So stay tuned. We'll keep talking about that into the extended. Taking a look here at the European model, we're looking at rain through Tuesday night there with this upcoming couple systems here. The rain, we'll have that break in the rain Tuesday night before the next system Wednesday morning there. So you can see across the lowlands, basically, we're going to have a rain shadow here, northern Olympic Peninsula up the San Juans toward Bellingham. That area will likely get about a quarter inch to a half inch of rain. But from Bellingham southward all the way through the I-5 corridor there here in the lowlands, we'll be getting 3/4 of an inch to 1 1/4 inches. And this is a pretty good round of rain, especially considering it's been, we've had snow, but it's been pretty dry and cold. We'll be much warmer, and we'll be getting everything nice and wet. We'll get a lot of rain. We have a big precipitation deficit right now, and it would be really good to build up those rain totals again. Taking a look on the coast there, you can see 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. See that enhanced rainfall on the southern slopes of the Olympic Peninsula. And then taking a look at mountain snow, you can see the Olympics and the Cascades getting about a foot at the higher peaks. You can see Snoqualmie, Stevens, and White Passes getting about 10 to 12 inches, maybe a little bit more. And then Paradise there on Mount Rainier getting up to 25 inches there. And then some of the ski areas, Mission Ridge, Crystal Mountain getting up toward 14 to 18 inches of snow. So a decent round of mountain snow, not all that impactful besides some travel delays across Snoqualmie Pass there likely, and possibly Stevens and White Passes as well. But this is not too big of a storm. This is, again, about a foot of snow spread out over 4 days or so. So not too impactful, just a typical winter storm over the Cascade Passes. Taking a look at high temperatures, you can see we're going to start warming up. This is Saturday's highs here in the mid-40s. You can see Sunday's highs, we're reaching the mid to upper 40s. Monday, we're reaching the mid-40s to low 50s. And then as we go into Tuesday there, you can see highs increasing to the low 50s for most of the area, except from Everett northward, they're likely in the upper 40s still. However, as we go into next week, you can see as we go toward next Friday into Saturday, that potential atmospheric river setup you're seeing here with those highs reaching the mid-50s potentially for parts of western Washington. The National Blend of Models here shows highs next Sunday, so the 23rd, reaching the upper 50s. That would be indicative of an atmospheric river setup, so that's definitely something we have to watch, because that, as you can see in this kind of a setup, you have highs in the mountains reaching the low 40s. That is definitely problematic at this time of year, so we would have to watch closely to see if something like this will occur, so stay tuned over the next few days for that. And then taking a look at minimum temperatures, Saturday morning, a few areas will likely reach freezing, so especially outlying areas, if there is any snow or slush still around, some of it may refreeze. But overall, we're going to be about, the lowest temperatures we're going to be seeing is about 32 across the lowlands, maybe a few places reaching 31 or 30 degrees, most of the area in the mid-30s though. As we go into Sunday and Monday mornings there, you can see those low temperatures increase further with lows up into the upper 30s to low 40s, and that remains the trend through next week as well. So now taking a look at the European model ensemble, you can see this is for total rain basically through the end of February into the first couple days of March there, and you can see that these bars here on the graph at the bottom are the ensemble average, which is around 5 inches of rain through the end of February. The control run came back particularly wet there, showing nearly 7 inches of rain at SeaTac through the end of February. So this is just something to watch. There's a very good signal here, as you can see, with our systems through this weekend, and then a bigger system there midweek, and then potential for these atmospheric rivers later into next week. So definitely a lot to watch here in the extended forecast, and some good agreement on it as well. You can see we're looking at the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, February 22nd to 28th. So basically not the upcoming week, but the week after. So into the end of February there, and a decent chance of above average temperatures and above average precipitation, which does that goes with the outlooks we just looked at on the European model, showing that good agreement on higher precipitation totals over the next few days. So definitely some active stuff to watch going through the next couple weeks here toward the end of February and the beginning of March. But thank you all. I've gotten 200 new subscribers in the past month here. I would love to see that continue to grow, so please click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like and share these videos, and then follow me on Blue Sky, on Twitter, and on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group. I love doing weather updates around here, and we've definitely got a lot more active weather ahead, so stay tuned for more on that over the next few days, and I will talk to you all later.